Hello heyday gamers around the world, welcome back to your channel Mamun Prefer Gaming 2. Is your silo full always? I mean, you are frustrated, you are very angry about it. So here is 3 tips that can really help you to get rid of this silo full problem. Number 1, collect only the amount of fruits you need. Sometimes what happens when we have a lot of trees and many fruits are there, and we try to collect all together, and once we try together, our silo gets full very easily. Getting the silo often full, it can be very frustrating for gamers. I mean, for the heyday gamers. Burn and silo, they get full very easily, and it can be very disturbing. And you will not enjoy the game once it happens. So you'll have to understand that you will take your fruits only when you need. Let's give you an example. You want to produce a juice. Now you are gonna take some fruits, right? Let's say the juice is made by orange. Now you need to collect orange. So in that time you are gonna collect the orange, and you are not gonna collect orange like huge amount of orange, that will cause your silo full. So you are gonna take exactly the amount of fruits you need. This way your silo will not be full. As you can see, I have collected many fruits without reason, and the silo is almost full. So it happens, it happens always. I just have 80 more space. I can take 80 more fruits. It's just not only fruits silo hold, but also you keep your crops. Remember, you also keep your crops. So you cannot really store your fruits anytime you want, and you can keep it for a long time. You cannot, because you need crops. You need a lot of crops to store in silo. You need in various production and boat order, sheep order, but fruits are something that you can keep, and you can store for a long time outside of the silo. I mean, because the trees are there, and it's like a decoration parts, and they're giving you fruits whenever you need. So it's basically the good option to keep on tree instead of picking them and storing in silo. If you look at these my spaces, these spaces were free. I didn't have to do anything with these, and you will have plenty of a space in your game. Once you keep playing and improve your level, you're gonna clear many lands, and you will have plenty of lands. So you can easily keep your trees there in the free land, and you will not face these problems, as you can see. Tips number 2, plant crops wisely and get rid of silo full problem. You'll have to manage planting crops, effectively, so that you can avoid these full silo problem always. Your silo gets full very easily. Now you need to understand how to manage cropping. As you can see, all of your crops are not very useful. I mean, all crops, you need all crops, but some crops are very useful. I mean, you always need these crops to produce. Some crops are very mandatory. These first 5 crops are very useful and very used. The most used crops, like the wheats, corn, wheats, and carrots, and soybean, sugarcane. You need all these very often. So depending on your silo size, silo capacity, you'll have to decide, how many weights you are going to keep, how many carrots you are going to keep, depending on your needs, what you are producing. For an example, it's wise to keep in my level, in my silo capacity, it is wise to keep weights, a lot of weights. I mean, you should use weights pretty often, at least 200 or nearly 200. And again, carrots, soybean, also the corn you need most of the time. So it should be nearly 100 or near 80. So I'm gonna keep all these crops, necessary crops, all these first five crops, nearly 100, and others I'm gonna keep nearly 50. So it will be very balanced. I mean, you can keep everything, and again, it's not gonna be full so easily. But what happens, what you do is, you keep something that you don't need, you keep them 100 or 200 or 150, but a necessary one, a very useful one, you use them pretty often and you do not produce much. So that's the problem. So unnecessary crops should not be stored for a huge number. They should be less. Number 3, produce goods that require crops a lot. Now, I can say in number 3 that how can you increase your silo capacity easily, right? And I can just give you a simple tips which is gonna increase your capacity of storage. But what happens, doesn't matter how big you have capacity to keep crops in your silo, it will still be full because of your needs. The more you have bigger capacity, the more you will have need. So it's not the solution. The solution is you will have to be pro at managing these capacity or storage, I should say, these silo. You should be very, very careful about managing these properly. So now, as you can see, I'm waiting, and I pretty often get tools and I upgrade, but still my needs are increasing. I keep many crops still, and fruits as well. So the best solution is you will have to frequently produce product that requires crops a lot. Now I'm going to show you an example what sort of production can frequently reduce your crops, and you're going to keep producing. This will be very balanced. As you can see, this one, winter veggies. So if you produce winter veggies, you need a lot of crops. So all the requirements are crops. So these sort of production will require a lot of crops. And if you produce this sort of product or goods, you are gonna lose your crops pretty often. So as you are losing your crops frequently, it's gonna be balanced automatically. You need those crops, you're gonna plant, and you're gonna produce products, and you're gonna need plants again. This way, you're gonna level up your game very quickly, and you will not have a full problem. You will not have definitely silo full problem.